What's going on, YouTube family? Today we're gonna start getting ready to go on to Missouri. I go on this trip every year to hunt whitetails in Missouri. So today I'm gonna start getting ready for that. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna go over the history behind like the smokers I've had and what I suggest, which smokers you should buy, and the pros and the cons and things like that. So come hang out with me today. Just a chill day talk. Tomorrow I got to cook for a church. We're gonna cook like 100 pieces of leg quarters, 100 leg quarters. So I'm gonna bring you in with on that as well. So just hang around, and I'll see y'all in a bit. Now, I started really getting serious about grilling back in, I want to say, 2005, 2004, 2005. I was in the Navy. Just had started getting serious about grilling because, you live in the barracks, you ain't got nothing better else to do on the weekend except for duty, except, grill out with your buddies. So we used to grill out and things like that, and I ended up getting married in 2006, and then I would always buy the like $100 grills from Walmart, right? The Weber $100 grills from Walmart, and those are great. If you wanna grill, I would say once every 6 months, twice a year, but with me being wanting to grill, every weekend or at least twice a month, I would find myself buying a new one every year. So I was spending $100 every year for like 3 or 4 years before I bought this right here. And this is really my first smoker. And there's a difference between when you talk about grilling and smoking. Grilling is more direct heat, direct to the meat. Smoking is more indirect. So my first smoker was this right here. It's an old Country BBQ pits, Pecos Smoker. You get these from Academy Sports. So this is my first smoker, and like I said, I bought this smoker back in 2000. Well, yeah, I bought this smoker back in 2012. Yeah, 2012, 2013 is when I bought this smoker. So almost 10 years. It's 10 years old. And it's still in great shape. It got a little bit of rust, but a little bit of TLC will take care of that. I haven't used this here at my mom's house right now. Now, the pros and cons about this pit. It's a great pit. When you want to take smoking serious, you want something with weld. So you want something that's welded together. As you can see, it's welded. It's nothing that has screws and you have to screw in. You don't want nothing you have to screw in. You want something that's welded, that'll last. Here's the firebox here. And for a 10-year smoker, this firebox is in great shape. It's in great shape to be 10 years old. This firebox, it'll last me about 30 years take care of it, it'll last you about 30, 40 years. So, like I said, you want something that's going to last, that you're not spending $100 every year, you know, trying to replace. Now, when I bought this smoker, yeah, I want to say I paid $399 for it, which is not a bad price, $300 or $400. You know, you get something that's welded, sturdy, last. So that's a pro. That's a part of the pros when you talk about this smoker here is, you know, being able to cook, being able to smoke meats, and it cost $300, $400 at Academy Sports, and it lasts. Like I said, I bought this just 10 years, and it's basically just almost as good as when I bought it. So that's a pro. A con I don't like about this smoker is it takes work. It takes work. It takes work to maintain that temp. So when you put your logs in, you're going to start your fire with a bed of charcoals. You're going to put your logs in, and it's going to take work to keep that temperature maintained. So you find yourself, you know, working that fire and really focused on the fire, and your meat over here cooking. So you got a lot of things going on. You got a lot of things going on. This is a great pit if you want to learn how to, you know, make a fire and maintain a fire. This is a great pit for that. To start off with that, but then after a while, you want to move up to something else, because you're going to want to then be focused on, you know, your meat and the quality of your meat and what's going on with your meat and things like that. So I give this smoker, this is a good smoker. I have nothing really bad to say about this smoker other than that. And yeah, so. So Missouri's coming up around the corner, right? So I gotta get my rifle sighted in, so that way when I hit to Missouri next week, everything will be in order. So I'm gonna continue talking about the smokers. Come hang out with me while I sighted my rifle. Now, after I brought the Pecos Smoker, you know, I really started getting into how to manage fire and things like that. But I also wanted to focus on, you know, the quality of my meat and the way I'm cooking my meat. And with that smoker, it was a lot more difficult for me to do that, because I was just so much into like maintaining temps. And partially that's because of the way the smoker was built. But I mean, for $400, you can't beat that, right? So ultimately I came down to purchasing my next smoker, which is a Yoder YS640. I bought that Yoder YS640 in 2014. 2014 is when I bought that YS640. It's a great smoker. It's a great smoker. It's built like a tank. I've had that smoker at competitions. I've had that smoker cooking for events. I've had that smoker cooking, you know, and it's a pellet smoker. Back then it cost me $2,500. I think the price has substantially increased since then, but it's earned every penny, and it still runs like a tank. That smoker's really, really, really well built, and I would say that's a con. That's a pro. I'm sorry, that's a pro in regards to that smoker. The build quality is built like a tank. Can't go wrong. A con, I would say, with the YS640 is the quality of smoke. Compared to an offset, as in you talking about that char taste, because it's people, when you talk about grilling meat and smoking meat, people expect a char flavor, to go along with that meat, not cooked in an oven with a little bit of smoke flavor, So when you use pellet smokers, and they've gotten better since when I purchased this YS640, it's gotten better, pellet smokers now come out with better, ways to implement smoke into the meat, but I would have to use smoke tubes in order to really get like a real defined smoke flavor. And then on top of that, it couldn't compare to like a stick burner. And so that's my con as in regards to the Yoder YS640. It cooks well, it just doesn't compare to as far as like grill flavor, smoke flavor to any smoker I've had that burns whole log. Safety on. Now, after I bought the Yoder YS640, I went into really looking into getting into business. That means cooking for a bunch of people. It took a couple years, and it took a couple of events in my life to let me realize that I wanted to, open up a restaurant and cook for people and get the flavor out there, get the taste out there to the people. So that's when I bought the Myron Mixon GS33. I went to Myron Mixon Cooking School down in Unadilla, Georgia, and I purchased the smoker through his cooking school. Now note, I purchased the smoker through his cooking school, but if you go onto the website and you buy the smoker and then say, hey, I brought a smoker, can I get a discount on the cooking school? It don't work like that. You have to go, I was told that's not an option. You have to go to the cooking school, and then they have the smokers there. You can purchase the smoker at a discount. So I ended up getting my Myron Mixon GS33 at a discount. And so far, it's a great smoker. I can't lie. It's a great smoker. The build quality is great. It cooks well, it holds temps well. It is a gravity fed smoker. So with the gravity fed, it's very good on fuel consumption. It's built like a tank. It's probably the whole smoker is insulated. So that makes it just awesome to have inside, in enclosed areas. You could touch it It's a great smoker. It's so great of a smoker that when we decided to, buy a concession trailer for our business, I wanted Myron Mixon to go on the back on the porch of that concession trailer. So we also got purchased was a RFG 60. So we have two Myron Mixon smokers. Here's what I don't like. Okay. The build quality is great. Everything's great with the smoker, right? So we go and order the new smoker, which is a bigger cabinet smoker. The only difference between the differences between the G33 and the RFG60 is the RFG60 can hold a whole hog. I don't have anything that can cook a whole hog, so that would make me push for that smoker. Ultimately, that smoker's in Alabama right now. We have to go pick it up, and on top of that, the G33 is on my porch with the concession trailer, and it works better. It fits better. The G33 can hold more meat than the RFG60, but the G33 can't cook a whole hog, okay? So when we go ordering the RFG60 that's in Alabama right now, one, we wanted the door to the chute on the front. That was a $500 upcharge right there. They wanted to move the door from the side to the front. That was $500. So a conversation came up about the legs. Well, it's going to have to stand taller because right now it's on casters, right? It comes on wheels. So you want legs for it, right? So when it goes in your trailer on the porch, it can sit on the legs and get welded in. Okay, that was $500 more for the legs, right? So with shipping, everything included, with the smoker, the legs, the door put on the front, it came out to a little over $12,000 because the shipping was $700. The door on the front was $500. The legs was extra $500. Came out with a total, because the smoker is around, it's $10,000 and something, so it came out a little over $12,000 with tax and everything else. They get the smoker in Alabama. It has the legs. We had this whole debacle with the trailer, right? You go back and watch my previous video about the debacle with my trailer and the porch and not being able to support the weight of the smoker. So we get there, we see the smoker, it looks great, everything's packaged nicely and everything, except for one thing. It's missing the casters. Now, common sense would think, if I would have bought the smoker without paying $500 extra for the legs, it would have casters on it. I paid $500 extra for legs. You took the casters off, put the legs on, and didn't send the casters. Makes absolutely no sense. I'm hitting high. I'm hitting a little bit high. Wow. Minor adjustment. So yeah, back to what I was saying. If I wouldn't have bought the smoker with any changes, it would have came with casters at the price point of $10,000, right? I paid $500 for legs. You put the legs on, you take the casters off, and you keep the casters. And then when I call and I say, hey, where are the casters for it? Because, we're having problems with our trailer. This smoker is really not going to work on the back, on the porch because of weight issues or whatever. Where's the casters? They want to charge me $270 something for them to ship the casters. Why would I pay $270 for casters that I was supposed to get anyway when I bought the smoker? Now this made me so angry. I actually thought about, and I can't lie, I'm still thinking about selling everything. Selling all my Myron Mixon. Keep it. Because at the end of the day, I get it. Everybody's trying to make money. I'm in the cooking business. There's no cheap way around it. Everybody's trying to nickel and dime, right? Everybody's trying to get their piece of the pie plus some. But to sit here and one, you want to nickel and dime and charge me for changes to the smoker, okay. And then keep something that comes with the smoker and say, hey, you want this, you got to pay $200 extra. After I paid $500 extra for legs. So just that case alone, I'd never buy another Myron Mixon smoker, just being honest. It's the little things. It's just the little things that get me, you know? It's the little things that get me, you know? And I'm all about giving people what they pay for it. When it comes to my food and it comes to my restaurant and it comes to my food truck, when you spend money with me, you're getting what you pay for. I'm a big supporter of that because I like to get what I pay for. You know, I'm giving you my whole dollar. I don't want half your ass. And that's just how it seems to me. I give, especially when it comes to, you know, with this concession trailer and even with the dealings with Myron Mixon smokers, I gave you my whole dollar, but I get half your ass, and I don't like that. You know, that's just my opinion. Now, other people might have different opinions. And as far as the build quality of the smoker is top notch, A+. Can't argue nothing with the build quality. If you're cooking for a bunch of people, I would say, as in a commercial cooker, I wouldn't suggest the G33. Simply because of when you open that door, it drops temp, and then you got to close the door. It takes a while for the temp to get back up there, you know. And when you're cooking for a lot of people, and you know, commercially, that can be an issue. But other than that, it's a great smoker. One of the best smokers I have. But it's like I said, it's the little things. It's the little things, you know what I'm saying? All this money that got spent, and then you cheat me out of some casters that I already technically paid for, but you want to charge me extra to get. It's just, I don't like that. So I won't buy another Myron Mixon smoker. So after I bought the Myron Mixon GS33, we got around to buying the that's when I got in touch with Heartland smokers, because I really needed a big cooker, right? One that'll cook at least 120 racks of ribs in one cook. I got around to looking for a cooker that could cook that much, and Heartland cookers out of Sykeston, Missouri really caught my eye. So I got in touch with Heartland, and I ain't gonna lie, I was doing YouTube searches, right? YouTube searches and I came across TNT Barbecue, his channel, Myron Matthews. If you go follow him, he's a great guy. I actually talked to him on the phone a few times, and that really got my eye on the Heartland cooker. So I called Heartland, and yeah, I had a cooker built, custom built, rotisserie cooker built, and when I tell you it's an amazing cooker, it is an amazing cooker. I have no complaints. Now when it came down to planning for that cooker, I had to talk to Eric, and you know, Eric and Clay's the owner. I talked to Eric, and he was very, very helpful. When I bought the cooker, all this, you know, things with the supply shortages started happening. So they had a shortage on motors. So really, when it was scheduled for me to get my cooker in 8 months, in 4 months, or 2 months, 8 weeks. It's 8 to 16 weeks, right? So I ended up getting it like 9 months later. Yeah, it was almost a year. Well, 9 months later. And I can understand why, because of the supply shortages, you know, supply issues. That's happening everywhere. So I ended up going to Sykeston, picking up my smoker. It's custom built. It has a 60 by 72 chamber, 10 rack rotisserie with a Santa Maria grill, double axles, and I have 2 burners that I could put on the side, you know, to heat up sauces and things like that. And when I tell you it can cook, it can cook. I will be cooking on that tomorrow for a church event for my neighbor, and I'm cooking leg quarters, so y'all will be along with me when I go tomorrow to do that. Safety off. Safety on. But that Heartland cooker, I want a bigger one, to be honest. I want a bigger one, like. But I'm happy with what I got. I'm very, very pleased with what I got. I don't have any complaints whatsoever about that cooker. Y'all see me cooking on it tomorrow when I do the church event for my neighbor. All in all, do all the smokers I've owned, or I have, all the cookers I've had, would I do anything different? I couldn't say I would. I couldn't say I would. You know, one thing I have learned about, smokers in general, the cheaper ones, it's all tied to cost, man. It's all tied to cost. The cheaper you buy, the less longer it's gonna last. The more expensive you buy, the longer it's gonna last. The more capabilities you have with it, and things of that nature. So you gotta keep that in mind. Now, I might keep that where it's at. Let's look at it and see where we at. This is where I'm at right now. I was aiming, trying to hit it in here. That might have been a pull up a little bit. So I won't mess with that. I won't mess with that. I'll keep that exactly where it's at. Now, if you want to talk about quality, customer service, just good, honest people, A&L Smokers, they out of Alabama. A&L, Adam and Laura. Shop with them. Because I'm telling you, they're good, honest people. Their prices are very reasonable. He'll work with you. And that's what I look for, My next big smoker most likely going to come from him. Because just with the whole trailer situation and me going up there and seeing their work and just talking with him, you get your money, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for out of him. And that's what it really this video really boils down to, is honesty. Being an honest person, standing behind your work, giving the customer what he pays for. And A&L Smokers, I back them 100%. I really do. I back them. I've seen his work. I wish I would have found them sooner. And that's who I back. Let me see if I can push this out to 100 yards and see where it hits. I'll continue this video. We'll see how we're looking on time. Probably going to end up continuing it tomorrow when I start prepping that chicken and cook for the church event. I know I didn't release a video for y'all last week This video might be a little winded. I'm sorry. Just got a lot of things going on, and but let me push this out to 100 yards and see if I can get it dialed in a little bit more. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.